This is Damon Stevens with Wealth Builders, and today is Thursday, October 21st, 2021, and this is a stock market update on our trades for the day. So let's get right into take a look at the market. It's pretty exciting. The market's hitting new highs, the index funds are, and Ethereum hit a new high. So pretty exciting stuff going on. Looking at the chart here, the maps, you can see that the Dow Jones was pretty well flat at 0.02%. NASDAQ was up 0.62%, a little bit over half, and the S&P 500 up 0.30%. You can see this nice, long candle here. So very interesting to see the momentum here. Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on in the market, lots of spikes here. But you can see that overall, the markets are, pretty well stable and still bullish. You can see that the FANG stocks are pretty well kind of flat, except for, Microsoft did well. Nvidia, Tesla, really did well. And we'll talk about that after earnings. They did what I thought they're going to do possibly after earnings, but they did it on the day after earnings. So, so really good. So we'll take a look at that. As far as scan stocks, PHUN, SGMAU, we didn't do any of those. I'll cover which ones we did cover. Looking at the heat map here, the rest of the heat map, you can see it very kind of mixed across the board. And as far as the world map, you can see pretty well mixed as well, but Brazil, you can see is really red. China's kind of neutral on BABA, and JD and some others were kind of down a little bit. So what does that mean for us coming into Friday? Friday, I don't know. It could be just a flat rest day, just grind along. If we're elevated because we're at new highs, if that requires a pullback, possibly, maybe that happens on Friday. It's just hard to say right now because everything's elevated. Earnings are mixed right now, so we'll start talking about that as we get into the charts. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens and what's going to happen going forward, especially with one of the things that Chipotle said on their earnings announcement. So let's get into it, take a look. So Bitcoin, we talked about, that it hit the high and, possibly come back and rest, and that we have our channel laid out here. As you can see, we broke into that channel, and you can see here that we actually bounced off of the 61,850. Float around here, just under 63,000. So hit a nice record here, pulling down, consolidating here a little bit. You can see that we're, somewhere in the range of where we were at this last breakout. So, we'll see if that can hold. We have a support line down here at 61.8. Down here, we may hit that or may not. Got a support line down here at 62.4. We'll see if we can consolidate here and bounce back up. Really up, but when we talk about this in our videos at night, retracements are very common and important, and allows some sellers to get out, take some profits, and allows others to come in and buy them up and make a new run. So good stuff. IO, gave us another run, multi-day trade here, and you can see here that the high today, was 237, low 215. So it's pretty well flat now. This one, it's consolidating. So that part I do like. If it does not break up through here, because it kind of broke out this, this wedge here, if it doesn't break up here and run, tomorrow this will be off our list, but it's still above the 50, above the 200. So that's one reason it's on there now. LRCX, gave us a nice run up to 555.88. And the low here was 551. So, good run on that multi-day trade as well. Earnings, we're looking at Tesla, Sands, IBM, Crocs, Southwest, Chipotle. We'll cover a couple of these that we did get a hold of. Tesla, amazing run. So right back at 900. That's where we were at before we had our last big, huge dip, cleared down at close to the 500s in Tesla. So we were at that top. So the question now comes in, do we, consolidate here for a while, possibly pull back and possibly retrace some of this run that we've had, or do we, break out and go to new highs? There's a lot of good things, a lot of good earnings that are coming out. The biggest thing that I keep hearing though is there's a chip shortage, there's supply chain issues, I know that Tesla's behind on their batteries. Last time I heard was 6 months, up to 6 months on their batteries. So, you know, what's the impact going to be? I mean, the market is forward looking, but you know, we're at all-time highs again, and we have supply chain issues. So hard to say how the market's going to take that, how they're going to react, but we need to be ready for it. So if you haven't taken any profits, you know, this might be a good place to consider it. If you are trying to think about getting in, wait till we get above 900 and we hold out and pull back. So if we go up to, like, say, we get up to 1,000 and then we pull back to like 930 or somewhere around 900, and then start to ramp up again, then I'd say possibly, you know, you'd be safer. You can always get in right now, but it'd be very dangerous and not really recommended. It's something we would never recommend. But we see people do it all the time, and you know, it's high risk, very high risk. So just be aware of that. With Crocs gave us a nice little run here off of earnings. 143 is a low, 149.72 is a high, and it's topping up here. I'm looking at this tomorrow to see what it does for us. See if we get additional trades out of Crocs and maybe a run up here. I just got a small piece of it today. That was great. That was profitable, so that's good. Chipotle. So Chipotle, it announced its earnings, good earnings, and you saw this thing skyrocket up, and I thought, okay, where's this going to go? Is this going to go to 1,900? It came short 1,900. So then, you know, even if you're in this and just watching it at where we're at today, let me just kind of mark this out here. You know, one of the things, as soon as they said the earnings on Chipotle, right after that, the earnings, one of the announcements was that they're having supply chain issues and they think it could impact their Q4. So obviously that created a sell-off here. So that was a great shorting opportunity. If you're on it ready to execute it after getting this spike, because it pulled back clear down here to, you know, 1808 from 1885. So that's like $80 move on Chipotle. So that's a huge move. So if you were on the options here using, you know, if you're either trying to, you know, guess and short this, I mean, you left out. If you were, you know, trying to, if you're just watching this action here and you saw that it spike up, you heard the bad news come out about, you know, Q4 and the supply chain issues, you know, you could have, you know, put in some shorts on this and rode this down. And you can see, you know, when it broke this line here, that would be the time to short. Or, you know, if you heard it why it came out, which was, you know, when it was kind of peaking out here, that would have been a good time to short as well. But you can see that it spiked down here, kind of recovered a lot. It retraced back almost to the start of the day, but we ended a little bit lower. And so we'll be watching this in the morning. It might give us a little bit more because, you know, the morning traders have not had a chance to cash out. So we have options cashing out tomorrow. We have, you know, others who are trying to take profits, other people who may have been long on the market and want to try to get out of it. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, but some good action on Chipotle on earnings. HX has been a multi-day trade. Talked about this yesterday that at some point, you know, as it hits these spikes up here, it's going to probably peak out, may fall off. It's done that. It's dropped to 200. I'm going to drop this off at this point. It may come back on because a lot of these come back on, you know, later. CSX is another one that was a multi-day trade. You can see here 34.96 was a low, 35.20 was the high, so not much here. And so it's dropping off here as well. And so CSX for me, I'm going to take this off, even though it's not quite below the 200, just because I can see, you know, the writings on the wall, you know, where this is going to go, which is down. Netflix, you know, new highs again. So we're at 653 from 623. So $10 move today. Here's the thing about this stock, though. It's so elevated. I'm just really going to be cautious about, you know, where these are at, how far they can run. So just be real careful if you're still in Netflix. You know, for me, it's going to be day trading from here on out. So it's just too elevated, and we're going to have some type of pullback. Square hit the radar, and this has been on our list a lot before and for a long time, and it gave us a nice run You know, the last several days, you see this nice trend up, and then, you know, today we went to 253 as a low to 265. So, you know, $10 move, and that's what we're looking for, is those big moves. Square is another good one. Apple, So Apple, you know, told you that we're looking for a break of 150 to get back in and run on this, from my perspective. And you can see that we're just kind of sit here flat right on it. So we'll see what we can do. It's right. It's sitting at resistance for 2 days now. So we'll see if it can break through. Amazon pulled back. It's pulled back to support. So it's just right in this little channel. So we're just going to wait for it to get some momentum to start going again. Nvidia, nice climb up here towards that high, towards the resistance area of 230. Still watching this one for a breakout here, and hitting all new highs. So looking good. So Moderna, flat. So no trades on Moderna. I looked at it, but I didn't see any trades. So I started looking at other stuff. Invax, flat today pretty well as well. I was looking at Invax. So the US Treasury bonds. So if it gets up to this level up here, going to be concerned. We can start to impact the markets here. So let me just, so that's the level we're watching. And today we're flat, thank goodness. So keep an eye on that. Dollar was pulling down. That's good for the market. The VIX continues to pull a little bit lower. If it gets below in these 14s, you know, the only thing to watch for is, you know, a possible turnaround and spike. So as you can see, as it's come down to these low levels, it pulls down and it runs a spike, and then it pulls back down, runs a spike. So you just got to be careful with the VIX now that's down here. It could spike anytime. So, and that would create a negative impact on the market. SPY, all new highs. Amazing. We saw lots of gaps below. So we're above the line. We actually held above the highs. So that means we got another run. So, you know, we have it marked up here to go to 460 next. So we'll see if we can make that. Could have a possible pullback before that. You know, it's possible that this could come down here and try to fill some of these gaps and then run back up again. So just be careful out there if you're holding the SPY, and make sure you're protecting your profits. Triple Qs in this channel, hitting this resistance level. We'll see if we can break out of that. Semiconductors closing the gap. So that's good. So they close the gap, but here's the question. They close on the top of the gap. So are they going to, you know, continue up north towards the resistance areas, or are they going to pull back now that they've filled the gap? That's to be seen. That's what we're going to be watching for tomorrow. IWM broke through resistance and it held. So that's good. So we'll see what that brings tomorrow. You can see that it's still in a very bullish format here. XLEF, so financials are flat under that resistance area. Gold. So gold is just kind of hovering right here at this resistance level here. So it's got, you know, several different resistance levels. So it's going to be hard for it to break through, but it's sitting up there trying to get some momentum here. Silver, same thing, just kind of flat as well. So Bitcoin pulling back. So we pulled up here, hit new highs, and we're retracing back, which is absolutely normal. So it looks like it's holding support there. So that's good. All right. So Ethereum, we talked about Ethereum at the beginning. So Ethereum hit new records. It's probably going to pull back here, would be my guess. Might pull back as low as 37.90. Yeah, we had a good run here. It's broken new highs, so we'll see if it can hold that. If it can, it'll continue to run up. If it can, it'll probably pull back here and down towards the 20 and get a reset. So Shiba is just consolidating here. It's flat, still above the 10, so that's good. So we'll see. We'll continue watching this one and see if it can get some momentum, or if that was the run, and it's going back off today, going forward. So just stay safe out there. You know, we bring these to you. They're not There's for informational purposes, just give you an idea of what we're looking at. We're not endorsing it or making asking you to buy or trade anything. So just be aware of that, and continue to subscribe and give us feedback on our videos. And everybody have a great night and a great weekend coming up.